We are a peaceful people, struggle as we struggle, and we don't look for trouble, just ask around. But when outside faces from foreign places talk about taking over, we ain't backing down. We ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue sake, not one rice grain, not one grass, not a blade of grass. This land is all I know. We're gonna make it somehow. We will bend like a bow, but never break. Our fathers came here, and they lived and died here, and we ain't moving nowhere, make no mistake. We ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue sake, not one rice grain, not one grass, not a blade of grass.
We love the open county of the Rupununi and the Essequibo, daytime or night. Though we may criticize it, this is our home, we love it, and we need to keep it. We have that right.
We ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue sake, not one rice grain, not one grass, not a blade of grass. We ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue sake, not one rice grain, not one grass, not a blade of grass. We ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue sake, not one rice grain, not one grass, not a blade of grass.
Oh yes, a lot of you gon' vex, but I tell you, sometimes you just got to listen. There's a child in every home and every community. They will grow up to be symbols of unity. They'll be colorblind to race and ethnicity. That's the vision of a leader like President Irfan Ali. I'm talking about the one Guyana where our people can live in peace, where every race trusts each other, where racial prejudice no longer exists. Our children will have one Guyana to grow up in a land united and free with equality and blessed with prosperity. For too long we've been fighting one another. It's race against race, but in the end the country suffer. Oh, we were born here, not in India nor Africa. But if we can't get along, the foreigners gon' eat we suffer. We must put an end to racism. Let it end now with this generation. Together we'll develop this nation. Make Guyana the gem of the Caribbean. Don't listen to them wicked politicians who will divide us to win an election, believe it or not. Guyanese no smarter than that. Yeah, I told you. It's your boy Padmore. Unity is the key. We are all one and we should be treated as one. Our ancestors were slaves and laborers, but the life they endured made it better for us. We honor their sacrifice and the freedom they bought for we. But some descendants of slaves use that to fuel the rich. It doesn't matter what's your skin color, when we bleed blood it's red the same. Let's respect and love one another. When a brother cry we must feel the pain. We're Portuguese, African and Indian. We're Chinese mixed up, we're Amerindians. We're all Guyanese. Let's end this segregation. I'm appealing to Guyanese in the diaspora. We welcome you home. We've got a lot to offer. It's not the same place that you run away from. Come see the paradise Guyana has now become. I'm talking about the one Guyana, where our people can live in peace, where every race trusts each other, where racial prejudice no longer exists. Our children will have one Guyana, to grow up in a land united and free, with equality and blessed with prosperity. It's a message. I just want you to understand. Stop and think for a minute. Really think for a minute. If we can't fix the present, then we should work on the future. This is Quincy Anderson. You know I love my country. There's no other country better than mine. Welcome to Guyana, land of 6 races, 6 different faces, and we all live in love. Guyana is a beautiful country, no other can compare. Got everything right here, so no other can compare. Guyana is made up of so many natural resources. We don't need no forces, cause we got enough resources. Let's talk about bauxite, gold, diamond, and rice. We got it right here. Guyana ain't going nowhere. We got enough oil too. One Guyana, I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. One Guyana, I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. Hey, hey, Guyana is nice, Guyana is fun, Guyana is clean, Guyana is green, Guyana got oil, Guyana got gold, Guyana got young and Guyana got old. I ain't talking no more. Guyana got things, we growing wings and developing things. The government real and that's a big deal. I'm singing from my heart, Guyana. I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I...
Good morning to everyone, and welcome down to another episode of Livewire. Happy Amerindian Heritage Month to all our Indigenous brothers and sisters. Special good morning to all the persons joining us across the 10 administrative regions. Special good morning to the persons joining us across the diaspora. Really happy to have you here on the second day of celebrating our first people, our nation's first people, the Amerindians, Guyana's indigenous people. Now, folks, there are going to be a host of activities for this Heritage Month. So I encourage you to get your hands on the calendar so that you can make yourself aware of all the activities, where they're going to be, the dates, the times, and things like that for the heritage celebrations this year. The Ministry of Armenian Affairs has planned a host of activities. Just yesterday, last evening, they had the cultural extravaganza at the national park there in Georgetown, and it was really well attended. And of course, the displays and the culinary delights that are available there speak to our indigenous people and the rich culture that Guyana has in terms of the melting pot of cultures that are here, the indigenous people being the first people. That aside, you got some other stuff to deal with, you know. I tell you, by trouble. I feel like Pam does read my face in the morning because sometimes I don't really be in the mood for some of the stuff he's got to deal with. Because to tell you the truth, it's a little draining. It is. Um, it is a little draining sometimes to deal with some of these issues, especially with these PNC supporting persons and the idea that they like to pretend that they are looking out for all Guyanese, but then show that they're looking out for only Afro Guyanese, but then in the end don't really support no type of Guyanese with their policies, with their plans, their actions, even their time in office, right? Abysmal failures. And racism seems to be the only tool in their toolbox that they can run to. And once you're an Afro Guyanese and you don't subscribe to PNCR AFC narratives, you're automatically painted in a bad light by opposition operatives. So we'll discuss that this morning a little. But before we get into it, morning to all the persons in the comment section already. Balwan Tanraj, Ganesh Bharat, Eddie Ramnath joining us from Paramaribo, Suriname. Rajendra Singh, Joseph Satar, Dial Sukram, morning to you, brother. As this month is the wedding, right? Siram Sukram, morning to you. Rupert Messiah, Betty Chris, Ormila Gosai, Alan Khan, Ian Bipat, Pam, morning to you, and Trevor Reddy Prasad, Sherwin Siram, Jamila Kayum, Roger Fong Raja, morning to you, and King Emperor, Deshaun Abrams, morning, Cedric Mohabir, Jane, morning to you. Jane, morning. I haven't seen Jane here in a while, at least not in the comment section. Morning, Jane. I hope all is well over there with you in St. Martin. Leslie Mongol, morning to you. Shakil Khan, Alim Ali, Rajendra Mahez, Dolly Singh, morning to you. Dianan Suku, joining us from Brampton, Canada. Nirmala Allen, joining us from Barbados. Chitra Sukraj, Salome, morning to you. Ricky Nod, Keith Benjamin, Prem Prashad. Who else we got here? Tosiram Chetty, Lola Hari, Greg Hill, Maureen Razio, Gayatri Prasad, morning to you. Norman Aziz, morning to you. Norman is in Brooklyn. Norman, I hope you're going out to the parade today and supporting the Nomads band. Corinne DeClue, morning to you. Margaret Charles, Clifford Bangru, Keith Abrams, morning to you. Bibi Kali Charan, Rudolph Sarju, good morning to you. Yumona, morning to you, and all the other nurses there at the Kumaka Health Center. Aliyah Mohammed, morning to you. Krishna Diodat. Who else we got here by? Ronald Jones, morning to you. Michael, Marlin Boyce, Prince Naku, morning to you. VJ Lacha, Miss Ramcharan, morning to you. Vikram Patrick, Neil Ramlokan joining us from Canada. Rakesh, morning to you. Rihanna Juman, morning. I know this morning is supposed to be getting the little one ready for school, so you can have some time to yourself today. Back to normal settings. Edward Budu, morning to you. Magdalene Henry, morning to you, joining us from Providence. Um, Teresa Ferreira, morning to you. Suknandan Bud, Golin Singh, Gita Prasad, morning to you. Philip Gonraj, Robert Hillerman, Cornelius Desri, morning to you. Who else we got here? Virabadar Shamar Ali, good morning to you. Safo Diabru, morning to you. So, people, I mean, listen, we've been hearing a lot about bans and who should support and boycott and that kind of nonsense. Y'all realize that Rickford Bork and these people, once they cannot get their way, or you're an Afro Guyanese that does not subscribe to whatever narrative they're pushing, you automatically start to get the hatred coming from that side, right? So the newest addition to, according to Rickford Bork and these people, the house drinker, the house drinkers, the soup drinkers, and the house slaves, would be Mr. Marlin Jacobs. Now, Rickford Bork has launched a campaign to ask Guyanese in that part of the world, in Brooklyn there, to boycott the Nomads ban on the grounds that it's a one Guyana ban, and the government ministers are there, and the government ministers and the government are against Afro Guyanese in Guyana. Mind you, mind you, Rickford Bork, who lives in America, the Guyanese members of parliament who live in Guyana, up to now, since the American Black Caucus that they met with asked them to produce evidence of this discrimination and marginalization and all sorts of issues that they claim are happening to Afro Guyanese in Guyana, to produce evidence of same. And as of today's date, the second day of September, as we're in the Heritage Month of 2024, celebrating with our indigenous people, PNC or ITAL have not been able to produce such evidence to the Americans, right? Every year, there's a celebration in the United States, and I'm not talking since 2020, right? Even since 2015, there's this celebration in the United States where Brooklyn people gather and they celebrate the diverse cultures in that area. Why is it Rickford Bork couldn't approach the Granger government to have a ban on the road for Labor Day in America there? Why he can approach them to have a ban on the road? A Green State ban. So now this young African Guyanese who is overseas based, but he comes home often, he's here, he promotes stuff here and over there, here in Guyana and over there in the States, decided to, given the trajectory Guyana is on, all the development is happening, to make Guyana's presence known more than just seeing persons on the road, on the sidelines with flags and dressed in Guyana jerseys, has decided to promote Guyana on the international stage at the Labor Day celebrations, and have a band, a truck on the road that represents Guyana, right? Featuring Guyanese artists and things like that. Featuring the Minister of Tourism, Industry and Commerce, and Afro-Guyanese. You understand me? Featuring the minister within the Ministry of Housing and Water, a Portuguese Guyanese, a race that is recognized as one of Guyana's 6 people. But racist Rick Football has decided to fight against this young man. Right? Has decided to fight against this young man. Now, I want to play a video for you guys. And I want you to listen. I'm going to ask you to listen to Rick Football. It can be hard, but I just want to show you how these guys sell themselves out and show that they have no interest in promoting Guyanese, more so Afro-Guyanese. Now, I saw this post by Marlin Jacobs yesterday, and I reposted it on my Facebook. Now, the reason I posted it is because I wanted persons to understand both sides. We saw Rick Football's baseless attack on Marlin Jacobs and what he's trying to promote, Guyana in the USA. So Marlin Jacobs made a post to bring some clarity, right? So it reads, last week, Mr. Rick Football called me to book me for his show. It cost $1,500 US, 300,000 Guyanese, for me to leave my home. Rick Ford, you never made that deposit, but you on here protesting and advocating for black people, but you couldn't advocate for your so-called black brother to eat the food. Stay out my way. He went into the comments and further said, Guyanese artists take next to nothing for a Guyana Day, but a Trinidad artist gets paid in full and 10 times more. But you're advocating for equality for all Guyanese when you don't even take care of the same Guyanese people. You're a hypocrite. I've said so. Sir, stay away from my band with your politics, please. Now, here's what I'm trying to say to you. Anybody that know about promotion, anybody who ever had a show, a party, anything where you had somebody coming to perform, even DJs, the DJs, right? Even the DJs, you could say from now to never morning that you got DJ Magnum, you got DJ Cian, you got DJ whoever you could think about. Once you don't pay that deposit, book them in terms of not call them to tell them you got to show on a date, but pay the deposit to book them, to secure that date for their performance. You and them have no arrangement, right? You and them have no arrangement. So when I saw this from Marlin Jacobs, the statement he made, so I'm thinking, okay, well, Rick Football approached this man to do a show. He did not make a deposit. He didn't make payment in full. So the guy ain't show up. We expect if you don't pay the artist, and this is not like a regular job where you work and you get paid after. Entertainment, it works differently. A lot of the international artists that come to this country get all their money before they go on stage. Barnaby, whoever being here, whoever concert they had here, Caribbean, Jamaican, whoever it is. To book them, you got paid on at least half the money whack for the booking to secure the deal. They will come to your country, but before they go on stage, the promoter has to pay them the rest of the money, or else they ain't performing. That's it. That's how it goes. That is how it goes. Even some people contracts got it straight up in there. If you don't pay by the time to go on the stage, the people not performing. And in a lot of cases, your deposit is not refundable. It is not. Right? So I saw Marlin Jacobs' post, and then somebody tell me, Tricky Ricky do a video. So I went to listen to what he was saying. And a lot of times, I feel like persons don't take the time to actually listen to Rick Football and Mark Benchcock. Because if you really listen to what they're saying, you'll realize that other than being completely asinine, both of them, Sherrod Duncan as well, you can't leave him out, chief ass, besides being asinine, They just sell themselves out. And more so, they show their disdain and hatred for other races of Guyanese descent. Right? Look at this video here.
To take time out to respond to some of the things I'm seeing on social media. So let's get some of the facts on the table. This is good.
I laughed right off the bat when I got some Mark when Rickford Bork said, let's get the facts on the table. Rickford, facts, those two things don't go hand in hand. You understand? Like ducks and burgers. They don't go.
Be a very short
Oh
video.
my gosh. Y'all listen. And that's my thing too. You see these long pauses? Don't worry about getting your thoughts together. That's Rickford working out the lie in his head. That's Rickford working out the lie in his head. Right? And even after working out the lie in his head, he still couldn't deliver. Listen to him.
I about a month ago or 2 months ago, about less than 2 months ago, I heard of Marlin Jacobs' project, the Nomads Carnival Band.
Right? So Rickford just admitted about 2 months ago he heard about this Nomads Carnival Band. Mind you, Marlin Jacobs did an interview with a young lady pre today, because today is Labor Day, they're going and going bad on the road today. Right? Did an interview where he stated clearly he's looking for sponsorship, he's looking for people to get on board. He has engaged the One Guyana. What I mean? What is One Guyana? The FNLE government is pushing the One Guyana theme. You understand? So, what is the One Guyana theme? All Guyanese working together, all 6 races as one, including the mixed race people, the extra race. Everybody working together as one. One Guyana, one people, one nation, one destiny, one Guyana. Right? So this wasn't a secret. And I will share that interview where he spoke to this. Right? So this wasn't a secret that Marlin Jacobs would have engaged the government to support this activity. More so that the government, the president, visits these areas, interact with the people in Brooklyn, that kind of thing, and the people love him. The people love the Guyanese president. So this was known.
We had a carnival band in collaboration with Sesame Flyers year before the last, and I didn't have the time to do it last year or this year. But once I heard that Marlin had a band, I said we will support it.
Who's the we?
I called him and I left him a message to that effect. Myself and team from the Guyana Independence Committee, we attended the launch of his band. Listen to me very carefully. We did not know that he had intentions to collaborate with the PPP.
Right. So you hear him. He said he didn't know they had intentions of collaborating with the PPP. Right? Look at this. This is an interview done about close to 3 months ago. Listen.
What do you want to say to persons like that?
We're open for sponsors. We're open for collaborations as well. I've reached out to One Guyana. You know, it would be major for us to promote that on the parkway. You know, major for.
Y'all hear that? I reached out to One Guyana. It would be amazing for us to promote that on the parkway. So you see how the young man is looking at this? You saw this young Afro-Guyanese is looking at this, promoting his country. Sees the togetherness and the oneness of the One Guyana theme. He sees people coming together now. He sees an effort to bridge the gap and to close the divide between Afro and Indo and stop the fighting and wants to promote that on an international stage. Listen one more time.
For us to promote that on the parkway, you know. Would be major for us to promote that as well, collaborations as well. I've reached out to One Guyana, you know, it would be major for us to promote that on the parkway, you know. I haven't gotten a feedback as yet, but I'm sure.
So that was since then. So Marlon reached out to One Guyana way back when and was waiting for them to say, well, we can get on board. Now, all the time, Marlon waiting on One Guyana to get on board. CIDGBDE, whatever they call, ain't get on board yet. We, as Rickford Burke spoke of earlier, ain't get on board yet. So he can't get no support from the people overseas that claim to be advocates of Afro-Guyanese and Afro-Guyanese entrepreneurs and supporting young Afro-Guyanese and this and that and this and that. Can't get the support from them as yet. But One Guyana jump on board. Big problem. Boycott. Done with them. Oh, God. Marlon is a dog. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, what are we going to do? Marlon. Oh, God. Right?
Ended his event, the launch of his band. I spoke to him at that event and I said to him, we want to collaborate with you to make sure we mobilize the entire Guyanese New York community.
No good. So at the launch of this band, that's after the interview. And Ricky said he went there and tell you he want to support the event by mobilizing the entire Guyanese community. Now, my question to y'all good people on this live here, is the Guyanese community one race? In Brooklyn there? Or anywhere? The Guyanese community, is it one race? Now listen to Rick Ford as he continues.
To support your band. He said to me, I asked him for us to meet, to plan it. He said to me he was going to Guyana, and on his return, he would reach out to me. I reached out to him twice subsequently. The first time I reached out to him, he was in Guyana. The second time I reached out to him, we said that we will meet and talk. On that occasion, I also told him that the committee, Guyana Independence Committee, requested that he...
So up to now, matter of fact, no, let me play. Let's see, I can hear the crux of the matter. Right? Here.
Perform at the Guyana Independence. Guyana, and on his return, he would reach out to me.
So what I was going to say is, so up to that point of the launching of the band, Rickford Burke and Marlin Jacobs never had any agreement for him to perform at no Guyana Day or wherever they had. Right? They had no agreement. Right?
I reached out to him twice subsequently. The first time I reached out to him, he was in Guyana.
So here, he reached out 2 times to the man after, and they still had no agreement. Listen.
The second time I reached out to him, we said that we will meet and talk. On that occasion, I also told him that the committee, Guyana Independence Committee, requested that he perform at the Guyana Independence.
So this is where it got juicy to me. So the Guyana Independence Committee requests that he perform at the Guyana Independence. Now, this is my confusion here. You're requesting him to perform or you're hiring him to perform? Which one? Because in his mind, at least from what I gather, he thinking he's going to work for money. He's an artist. He's a social media influencer. That's what they do. They work for money. They come to events to be paid. They're working. Right? So the Guyana Independence Committee requested. They make a booking They make a down payment, they make a request.
And I also said to him that one of the asked him for us to meet to plan it. He said to me he was going to Guyana, and on his return, he would reach out to me. I reached out to him twice subsequently. The first time I reached out to him, he was in Guyana. The second time I reached out to him, we said that we will meet and talk. On that occasion, I also told him that the committee, Guyana Independence Committee, requested that he perform at the Guyana Independence. And I also said to him that one of the requirements to perform for the Guyana Independence is that you have to promote the event.
So here, the committee requests. No, the committee given requirements. But the committee giving down payments or deposits or making a payment. They requesting and they got stipulations. You got to promote this event. You got to think, you got to blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Right? Up to now, we haven't heard Rickford Burke say that Marlin Jacobs would have agreed to perform at this event that he's talking about. Up to now, right? Listen, let me continue.
Meaning you have to.
So that is why I say this attack is baseless. And once you don't support the narrative of people like Rickford Burke, you're automatically labeled a soup drink and a house slave. You understand? If the government of Guyana supports what you're doing, you're automatically a soup drink and a house slave. If you're bringing races together and not having them fighting against each other, you're a soup drink and a house slave. That is Rickford Burke's mentality. Let me continue.
Actively share the flyer, the videos, all the promotional.
So he giving the man more work. So the guy got to actively share flyer, video, all the promotional stuff, plus come and perform on the night or the day or whenever this activity is. And up to now, we in here, Rickford Burke said, we at the Independence Committee paid the down payment. And we made a payment to Jacobs, and he didn't but we made a payment. You didn't hear that yet. You didn't hear nothing about money. You didn't hear nothing about money. That's how they value Afro-Guyanese. That's how they see Guyanese artists in general. They don't have value.
Materials on your social media. That's part of the contract. He never responded to that.
So, you hear? After telling this man, there's a request for you to perform. For you to perform, we want you got to do this, this, and this. Marlin Jacobs and said, he ain't look in the direction, he respond, nothing. How do you have an arrangement with this guy to perform? How? Can Rickford Burke show us a contract signed by Marlin Jacobs saying, yes, I have agreed to perform at the Guyana Day for this amount of money or for free?
I reached out to him 3 times after that.
What do you mean, Rickford? The third time is the charm. The man want nothing to do with you. He was ducking away from all those burgers that you're sharing away, ducking away from them. You understand? Whether it's a Whopper, a Big Mac, whatever burger you were sharing, he duck away from it 3 times. You just said 3 times he reach out and the man ain't got no time with you. Up to now again, nothing about a deposit, nothing about a full payment, nothing about a contract signing, nothing. How is Marlin Jacobs obligated to you?
To ask him to promote the event because he's slated to perform. He never responded.
See here, you're here again, trying again to contact you to promote the event. He never responded. So how do you have an arrangement, Rickford Burke? How do you have an arrangement with Marlin Jacobs for you to attack him like this? Attack the government like this for promoting Afro-Guyanese and his event in the diaspora. Could you believe it? This is not an Indo-Guyanese promoting no man's band. This is an Afro-Guyanese. An Afro-Guyanese And again, it shows you that they don't care whether Afro-Guyanese progress. They just care that they're not in the power to control the progression, to keep it at a certain level. So Marlin Jacobs moved from his little parties in Guyana to keep him big party in the States, truck on the road and thing. He's moving up. That is an issue for them. 2,000 Afro-Guyanese, 2,000 new contractors in the system. That is an issue for them. Hiring back the sugar workers, issue for them. Hiring back the CSOs, happy in the Heritage Month to all the CSOs who got their jobs back under this administration, that is an issue for them. Land titling for Amerindians and ensuring the benefits from the Guyana's oil well, that is an issue for them. So it don't matter the race. Once you're not in the inner circle of the PNC and the AFC, they got an issue with you. So don't worry about being Afro-Guyanese and thinking they're going to give you a pass to make your way through. And, you know, how many Afro-Guyanese can we see started businesses in 2015 and at the end of 2020 could have said, I am a successful businessman. And this environment created by Granger, Danger Granger, you understand me, helped me to get to this point. How many Afro-Guyanese businesses suffered because of people like Rickford Burke, David Granger, Harmon, everybody, Valda Lawrence, all of them. Because you could remember Valda said, only PNC people get in work. Only PNC people get in work. Right? So Marlin Jacobs, they want to see eat a food under this administration. Because remember, if you are promoting that the administration don't like black people, how are we going to see the administration supporting black people and not fight against it? Because we didn't do it. So we got to fight against it. Or else it ain't gonna make sense to the nonsense we talking every night on social media.
Outside of me making direct contact with him, our team was also in contact with him. He never agreed to perform the event.
Y'all hear? Y'all hear what Rickford Burke said? So the man was not only running and hiding from ducks and burgers, not only from ducks and burgers, from the entire committee. From the entire committee, he didn't want nothing to do with the whole crew. You heard Rickford Burke said the guy never agreed to perform. I'm going to pull it back a little bit. Never agreed to perform.
I reached out to him. We said that we will meet and talk.
And that is why I say to you, Roman, I'm giving him eartime to highlight how these guys contradict themselves and how they attack Afro-Guyanese who are trying to make something of themselves. How they attack an administration that is trying to develop the entire country in terms of geographic location and in terms of ethnicity. Develop the country. And people like this keep preaching a narrative that paints the government in a horrible light. So I have to give him the eartime, along with myself, to debunk the foolishness that he puts out there. You understand me? And to highlight the fact that this clown, as you put it, Romano, this clown is one of many who fight down Afro-Guyanese.
On that occasion, I also told him that the committee, Guyana Independence Committee, requested that he perform at the Guyana Independence.
That is too far.
He never responded to that. I reached out to him 3 times after that. To perform. He never responded. Outside of me making direct contact with him.
Y'all listen, Romano, listen carefully here, please. Please listen carefully. This is very important what Rickford is going to say here. Listen to him.
Our team was also in contact with him. He never agreed to perform the event. Lo and behold, 2 weeks before the event, we saw that Marlin was on a flyer for a competing event.
So could you imagine, right? Marlin Jacobs never agreed to perform at these people event. These people never made a deposit of full payment to Marlin Jacobs. Everybody from the committee head to the committee foot, calling Marlin. Marlin didn't want nothing to do with them. Now they actually see Marlin Jacobs on a flyer that he agreed to perform at an event that he agreed to perform at, and most likely with the promoter who made a down payment or made the full payment towards his performance. He agreed there. So this is where the issue came with Rickford Burke and this Afro-Guyanese. Right? So another promoter pays what he needs to pay for Marlin Jacobs to perform, and Rickford Burke and crew vex.
In Queens, the exact same day at the exact time.
Now, I am saying, based on your testimony, Rickford, what would have gave you the idea that Marlin Jacobs agreed to perform at your show when you just said he never agreed to perform? So even if you're on another flight, what I got to do with you? You just said so.
Right? I reached out to him. I said, hey, this is not going to work. But he never responded to me. But my team members were in touch with him.
Again, you hear me? Reach out to Marlin Jacobs and said, this is not going to work. Again, Marlin Jacobs never responded to me. Rickford Burke says, Marlin Jacobs never responded to me. So even when he tried to tell him, we want you to perform for Winner More, the man had no time with Rickford Burke. None. You understand? No time with Rickford Burke.
And I'm not sure how that went, but the committee decided that we will not have somebody on our platform who, at the same time of our event, is promoting another event.
Marlin Jacobs decided that, not your committee. Since the night of the launching of the band, Marlin Jacobs decided that, not your committee. The mere fact that Marlin didn't answer ya, cause he ain't got no time with ya, he doing the own thing, he got in New York, he all over, he don't have no time with you. Marlin Jacobs decided he didn't want to be on your show. The committee had nothing to do with that. The committee didn't want it. The committee call it. You call it. Wait, you understand me? That is the craziness I don't understand with these people here. Right? Could you believe it? Now he is pretending like he was, we didn't want Marlin Jacobs. We didn't want Marlin. We didn't want him. Sad stupidness. Sad stupidness.
For the exact same day at the exact same time. I mean, who does that? Right? I mean, that's fine. We didn't have a problem with him, but we felt that that event in Queens was a competing event, and some of the people being on the other side of the political spectrum. So we decided that we're not.
So you hear it there. There's no Guyanese. People are not allowed to have their own thoughts. You understand? So that is the issue. Marlin Jacobs was on an event where Rickford Burke and team felt that he should not have been at because they had persons from a different side of the political spectrum. So y'all understand where the hatred for Marlin Jacobs come from?
Not going to engage him further. Now,
and then here he but not engaging Marlin further. Marlin didn't engage y'all from the beginning. It's like this man has give himself some kind of importance. The mere fact that Marlin ain't taking your call, he ain't returning your call. How could you decide that you ain't gonna engage? He ain't engaging you. Look, the delusions are real. You understand me? Somebody ain't taking your calls, they ain't answering, they ain't calling you back, they ain't texting, they ain't WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook messaging, nothing. And you said You reporters who ain't got time with them, I beg to differ, sir.
Once Marlon never reached back out to me.
Again, are you hearing how many times this man is saying, Marlon never conformed. Marlon never reached back out to me. He didn't answer our calls. He never responded. He never agreed to perform. Y'all hearing, and that's why I'm saying these guys just contradict their own self. So in the beginning of the video, you would have swear that he and Marlin Jacobs had some arrangement from a request to perform by a committee. That makes it, yes, official. I am performing at your event from this request only. That's the idiocy behind people like Rickford Burke, right?
For the Guyanese, for us to mobilize the entire Guyanese community.
No, here is where I have another issue. If you're saying you're mobilizing the entire Guyanese community, doesn't that involve Indo-Guyanese? Doesn't that involve Amerindians living over there as well? Doesn't that involve Portuguese Guyanese, Chinese Guyanese living over there as well? If you're mobilizing the entire community, or is it that you're mobilizing the entire Afro community to support the ban? That is why they can't understand what one Guyana is, because they're not about one Guyana. And in some cases, the Guyana that they're about don't even see the benefits from them.
To collaborate on this venture of a truck on the Eastern Parkway. It is something that is necessary. We're the only country that don't have a truck. Well, one of the only countries that don't have a truck.
Mind you, 2050 to 2020, they can't get support from the government to get a truck on the road. Rickford Burke with all the connections, Benjcup with all the connections, Christina, everybody couldn't get a truck on the road 2050 to 2020. Now this, and mind you, these are the Afro-Guyanese diaspora representatives, and that is the Afro-Guyanese, and it was the Afro-Guyanese government. Couldn't get them to promote Guyana on the Eastern Parkway. Now the government that Rickford Burke and his team name as the Indo-Guyanese focused government is promoting getting behind Afro-Guyanese, whether it's locally or internationally, to help them promote themselves, promote the country, and just be better. And that's what he has a problem with.
For the large population that we have, it's important. I agreed with it. We need to promote our cultural heritage. We need to promote Guyanese. We need to promote our country. But at the same time, African Guyanese who are in Brooklyn and African Guyanese in the wider diaspora and in Guyana, we have a problem with the PPP government.
Really? We do? We excuse me? Because I'm an Afro-Guyanese from Guyana. I don't have a problem with the government. And when did Afro-Guyanese have a meeting and decided that Rickford Burke is speaking on behalf of all of us? I wasn't at the meeting. I don't know if I missed the memo or the meeting happened on a Sunday or something and I miss it. But I don't know of any time that African Guyanese came together and made you our representative. When, how, we vote, what we had, a secret ballot, what was it? How we do it? We pull straws, how we end up with you, Rickford Burke?
The government is a racist government. They want to subjugate black people.
Again, as I said at the beginning of this broadcast, we have yet to see any evidence to support the claims being made by Rickford Burke and others. For those who don't remember, when Aubrey Norton took a team to walk through the halls of the Capitol building there in the United States, in Washington there, right? And they had a meeting with the Black Caucus and the representatives there. They asked, the congressman asked, could you provide us with evidence? Evidence, substantive evidence. And we've not heard anything since. It's like the SOPs. We won the election. Could you provide us with evidence? At least your evidence. You're saying that you win. We have evidence here. GCOM got evidence there. Show us your evidence that you have won. Same thing, nothing, nothing.
Street Afro-Guyanese. They shut us out from the economic development of the country.
Could you imagine that? Could you imagine that? Look at all the initiatives in Afro-Guyanese communities. Look at all the new Afro-Guyanese contractors. Look at the amount of Afro-Guyanese going through the BIT program, the GROW, the WIN program, gold scholarships. Look at the amount of Afro-Guyanese that will benefit from the University of Guyana write-off and then free tertiary education once it comes on stream. And not just Afro-Guyanese, all Guyanese. Look at the development in Afro-Guyanese communities like Linden, New Amsterdam, Beirut, All Boys Town, Sapphire. What is Rickford Burke talking about? What is he talking about?
They want to enslave us. They subjugate us. We will not collaborate with the PPP government.
How, Rickford? How does the government try to enslave Afro-Guyanese? Are they working without pay? Like you tried to get Marlin Jacobs to do? Is it that? Are they working without pay, Rickford Burke? This is another piece that jumped out at me. Listen to this section that's coming up here.
We will not. Never. So long as they are trying to discriminate against black people. So we did not know that Marlin was collaborating with these people. And maybe that's why he never got back to us. For the wider Guyanese community to be mobilized.
The wider Guyanese community. So again, he makes it clear that Marlin Jacobs never reached back out to them. They never had an arrangement. You understand me? For any Guyana Day performance or nothing.
Support this event. Lo and behold, we saw the government putting out a flyer saying that they are part of the Nobats Carnival ban.
What's the issue?
And ministers of the government would come up here and join the ban.
What's the issue?
And we decided that we would protest against those ministers. We are not against his ban.
For what reason? Why you protesting against the ministers?
We are not against Marlin Jacobs, but
the Minister Industry and Commerce doing well in her field, promoting tourism, grants, Small Business Bureau kicking tail, minister within the Ministry of Housing distributing house lot, grant, core home, everything. What's your issue?
Partly now Marlin Jacobs has become an advocate for the PPP against CGID. And he wants to have a fight with us on behalf of the PPP.
When Marlin Jacobs said, when the 3 letters PPP come out of Marlin Jacobs' mouth, but anything, at what point? At what point? All Marlin Jacobs said is, I have engaged One Guyana. It would be amazing to promote that on the parkway. They ain't reached back out to me yet. They may reach back out to me yet. Bro, look.
Because I noticed he's making all these unsavory remarks about me and my team.
Y'all ain't pay, he lie, hold on, savory, talking the truth. You ain't pay he. You ain't pay he to perform. He ain't come. What's the issue? What? What's the issue? You ain't pay he to perform. He ain't come. What happened? What happened?
We're not going to tolerate that, Marlon. I have no issue with Marlon. But Marlon, if you want to fight us on behalf of the PPP, then we going to have a fight.
No. How is Marlon fighting on behalf of the PPP? Marlon never had on a PPP jersey. Marlon went to the government for support in terms of sponsorship of his band. The government don't support events here locally. What happened? What happened? How Marlon fighting you for the PPP?
CGID does not back down from a fight.
Who is CIGD? Mind you, only person that we have seen claiming to be a part of CIDG is Rickford Burke. We have not seen any other CIDG member. You hear me? No other member. This is just like this place, GHRA. Two people we know as Guyanese, whether local or international, are part of GHRA. You understand? Two people we know. We have never met any other person that has ever said, I am a member of the GHRA, or I am a part of the board, or I am a part of nobody. Likewise, CIGD or DG or whatever it is, Rickford Burke's organization that he founded, that he's still the president of or leader of. We have seen no other members. Nobody. Arbinart, Sherrod, nobody is said. Nobody opposite. Nigel Hughes, not a Russian, Ramjatan, nobody in come out and say, here's what. I am a member of CIDG, or we, yes. I pay in Jews or nothing. We don't know who they be. We don't know. Right? Craziness.
CGID does not back down from a fight. And this is not personal with Rickford Burke. You are upset with us, Marlon?
Marlon is the one upset. Marlon is the one upset.
As a black man, because we're standing on the principle that the PPP government must stop discriminating against black people?
Yeah, but what principle?
And because we're taking that stand, Marlon, you as a black man?
And again, you see what it comes down to? Black versus Indian. That is the only rallying cry for PNC, AFC, and its operatives. Black versus all the other races in the country. That's the only thing they could win over persons with. And it's usually persons who are up in age and stuck in their ways. Bornamites. You understand? So it come down now to Marlon fighting down black people. As a black man. You never hear Marlon mention anything derogatory about black people. You never hear Marlon talking down and asking people to boycott Afro-Guyanese businesses for any reason. You understand me? But just because Marlon is on board with your nonsense, he violating black people.
Somebody who we support, you're going to come up against that, you can't win that fight.
Okay.
Don't come and fight us on behalf of the PPP. If you want to collaborate with the PPP, that's fine, Marlon.
So then why can't we to boycott the event if that is fine? Clearly it's not fine, Rickford. If it was fine, you would have allowed Marlon to collaborate with who you wanted to collaborate with and not call for a boycott or waste your time today instead of enjoying the celebrations. To play you going and protest. And indeed, I'm waiting to see what this protest will be like. He spoke about protest, and that's where I'll end it today. Just let's get to that part.
That is your democratic right. But our right to protest against the people that you are collaborating with is just as important and equal. And we can all cohabitate in the same space because this is a free country. This is not Guyana where the PPP dominates and stop people from protesting.
Now that is where we will end today. Now, could you believe Rickford Burke is saying that the Guyanese government stops persons from protesting? Right? That is one of the biggest lies that you'll ever find. Because since the Irfan Ali administration has been elected to office, the opposition has had several protests. They continue. Before I go to that, I think what Rickford Burke is talking about is the turnout at the opposition protests. So the turnout is not based on government suppression or anything like that. There's the people who supporting y'all. If 5 people come to your protest, where want the government do? Send public service to help y'all make up numbers? So because people didn't come to your protests, the government stifling your protests and stopping people from protesting, y'all have a poor showing every time y'all go out in front of GCOM. A poor showing. So nobody stops the opposition from protesting. They protest for anything and everything that they want to protest for. But if the people, the Guyanese people, who used to be gullible enough to run out and protest every time they're called, even if it's a baseless protest, it ain't based on nothing, stop doing that, because guess what? They have more to do with their time now. More people are employed. More people getting contract. People ensuring that the children going to school and they're working and they got house now and they got house lot and they're buying car. People value the things they got. They value the freedom. You understand me? So persons are not gonna come out and burn down and break up Regent Street like when you used to call them out back in the days. People actually taking the time to assess information and benefit from the initiatives of the government. Sadly, the previous administration didn't have much initiatives for the public to benefit from. But this one is doing something. So, give them a chance now, Ricky. Allow the young Afro-Guyanese promoter to do a thing in peace, man. If they want to perform for you because you're paying them next to nothing. And Jacob said so. He charged you $1,500. And the Trini artist getting 10 times the plus upfront payment. The man right. He ain't got time with y'all. He ain't got time with y'all to come in there. For all the people who vex that are focused on Rickford Burke this morning, I'm sorry. But sometimes you need to reiterate that all these people got to fall back on his race. Rickford Burke couldn't stand there and say to you, look, we promoted this activity during the coalition time and we had the ban on the road. So why he didn't come back to us? Well, no, he can't say that to you. All that he could do is confirm that Guyanese ain't had proper representation at the activities for the longest time. Guyana is one of the few countries that don't have a truck on the road. You understand? So for those in the diaspora, especially who can attend this parade there on Eastern Parkway, y'all go out and support Marlin Jacobs. Go out and support Marlin Jacobs. And I bet you, remember, this is a parade, a celebration, so plenty of people get up on the road. So Rickford Burke might go there and claim crowd that is not even his crowd. People who out, they just having fun. You understand me? We want to see the turnout, Ricky. We want to see the turnout. I hope it's not like GCOM protests. Because if them city councillors don't leave their work that they got to do in the capital city and go out and stand up in the hot sun at GCOM, y'all looking even thinner. Because with the councillors, you got but 10 or 12. So if you take away 6 or 7 of the councillors that there, so imagine the PNC councillors didn't even care about running the capital city. They going to protest GCOM, but votes. They had no issue at the LGE elections, The LGE elections had no problem, but city councillors protesting GCOM about list and a set of stupidness. Could you believe it? Carla, good morning. Just a second, I'm not hearing you. Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm saying I've been out on Eastern Parkway a couple of times. And I'll tell you this, people are just out there, there's no protest, it's just for fun. And I don't know, it's no big deal. There's no real interaction because there's so many people out there. You never know what. If there's a cause, if there's something going on, you can't identify anybody there for any specific reason outside of enjoying the activity.
Right.
So I don't really know what this guy expects to be happening on the parkway. There's so many people. They're so crowded.
Yeah.
You really can't interact with the bands anyway because the road is roped off, iron gates up. So
Right.
you can't do much. You can't do much.
Oh man.
So, unless you're drinking and partying, that's the extent of it. That's the extent of it. There's no political. No, that's so. What this guy, he's taking something and trying to blow it out of proportion. That's not how it happens.
Man, I don't know what he's expecting to happen out there. I don't know how with all the noise and the speakers out there, will he protesting? Who can hear it?
Dude, there's nothing to protest. Dude, people are just drinking. There's a whole lot of alcohol. There's a whole lot of people, and there's a whole lot of heat.
Yeah.
You know, and I also wanted to comment. I saw over the weekend I listened to a lot of Melly Mel and Sherrod Duncan, and I have to say, Sherrod Duncan is an idiot.
It is known.
I didn't know it. I went into it with it, and this girl Melly Mel, she makes all these innuendos, but she don't produce no fact. I don't want to reveal my sources yet.
Yeah.
So there's a whole lot of talk, yap, but no information they're producing. There's no. They're talking about this. Was it Indar at 15%? She claims she has all the proof, but
right.
She can't produce anything because she don't want to reveal her sources. So why bring this up?
My point exactly.
You're opening your mouth, you're airing your mouth out, as they say in Guyana. You're airing your mouth out.
Well, the minister sued them, so they're gonna have to bring the evidence in court.
Yeah, I saw it. That's what I initially got me because I was like, okay, let me hear what this was about. That's what came across my feed, and I was like, let me investigate that, and that's what. And they got Rickford, of course. How to say this? Rickford Burke sounds like he got a penis in his mouth. I'm being politically correct.
Look, y'all is trouble on this program, you know. But if that's the guy proclivity, you know, Lowy.
No, yeah. Listen, he sounds like a pompous ass.
Carly, come back with choker, bad. We're wrong with you.
No. I don't call a spade when I see it. As a Guyanese in America, he sounds like an ass. Sherrod Duncan, he's a clown. Melly Mel talking all kind of garbage, but I don't want to produce the evidence right now. Really? You're making these statements on the airway. You're opening it up public. Whoever your source is, spread them out.
Exactly.
Put your cards on the table. Put your cards on the table. Let the chips fall where they're made. But anyway, I just wanted to tell you that parkway is a mess. It's a nightmare. So anything he's trying to accomplish or he thinks he can accomplish in the parkway, not happening.
All right, thank you, caller. Thank you for coming through.
No problem.
I saw somebody else calling. Let me see if I get them back. You understand? So that's what I'm saying to you. I don't know what Rickford Burke's intentions are, but out there to claim that you go in there to do a protest.
Hello.
I saw a missed call from you. You're live on Livewire.
Yes.
Hello?
Yeah. Morning.
Morning, you're live. I saw a missed call from you. You calling into the live program?
Yeah, I called on the live program. I didn't get through.
You're live right now.
Okay. Why you call because in Westchester, in New York, there is a street by the name of Bork.
Uh-huh.
Who you put it up is he street or avenue? The name of the place is Westchester, but the avenue I think is Bork Avenue.
Uh-huh.
I think he got to put it up that he owned the avenue, the name it after he.
He's delusional, brother. He's delusional.
He getting support.
Man, look.
Yeah.
All right, thank you for coming through. Yeah, Rickford Barcade ain't good, people. Rickford Barcade ain't good. Again, we waiting to see the turnout at the protest. I am guaranteeing you, less than 20 people. You hear me? Less than 20 people. People going out there to gyrate and enjoy themselves. Not Rickford Bark any nonsense. Nobody have time for that. Anyway, guys, I am someone be part like she know the avenue. She says now Westchester is in Bronx. Anyway, guys, I'm out of here. Y'all be safe. Thank you for the support on the program this morning. Y'all continue to be good Guyanese no matter where you are. For the persons who are in the US, please enjoy today's celebration safely. Again, to our indigenous persons here, our indigenous brothers and sisters, happy heritage to you guys. Make sure you get your hand on a calendar of the events. This here is available on the Ministry of Amerindian Affairs Facebook page. And you could keep yourself up to date with all the activities for Heritage Month 2024, right? There's a jingle competition. There's a poetry competition. There's the usual activities at the Heritage Village, which will be at the Savaya Exhibition Center. Next to that spanking new facility that was built for the National Tushao Council. For them, their official facility there. In the Savaya Exhibition Center, and you know, it will be a good look this year for Heritage. Also, there'll be the Heritage Village celebration as well. I don't remember which village was selected this year, but as you know, all the villages have a little something. So you can check out for the persons who are in Region 6. You could go to Oriala. If you're in Region 4, you could go to Pokuri, or Region 10, you could go to Rockstone or wherever else you could get on the river. And for those who are able to go a little further afield, you know, the indigenous persons are always welcoming in their community to visitors. Once you're respectful and you know you don't cause no problems in the people's place. So if you're going to have fun in one of these communities, please do so respectfully and mindfully of the indigenous persons, and let's have a great heritage, right, guys? I'm out of here. As I usually say before I go, tell Ricky, it's all about peace, it's all about love, it's all about one Guyana.
Bauxite, gold, diamond, and rice, we got it right here. Guyana ain't going nowhere. We got enough oil to one Guyana. I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. One Guyana. I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I